Hi, welcome to Mindset, the global frame. Today, we're talking about the world at crossroads. What 2026 will test, and there's no promises. Before we get onto it, subscribe, it's free. We're counting on you. Feel free to also enjoy the free link for the streaming software we are using. If it looks good to you, you can also use it. It's free. There's a link below. Again, welcome to the Mindset, the Global Frame. I'm Femi. Each week we step back from the noise and examine the focuses and the forces shaping the world, not just what's happening, but why it's happening and what it means for you. As we step into a new year, Happy New Year to all. There's usually a lot of talk about hope, resolutions, and fresh starts, which is absolutely great. But history doesn't move according to calendars, as we can see. The truth is, the world doesn't reset on January 1st. It carries momentum, and right now, the momentum tells us something very important. We are entering a year that will not be defined by promises, but tests of leadership, tests of institutions, tests of economies, and most importantly, the test of societies. So today's question isn't what will happen in 2026. The real question is what will the world be forced to confront in 2026? This is the topic today with myself and Madam Fey. Madam Fey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and that was a fantastic introduction. I'm really looking forward to diving into this conversation with you. It's definitely a moment to unpack what kind of challenges and crossroads the world is going to face. So let's get into it.
The end of illusions. Every few years, the world sheds an illusion. There was a time when we believed globalization would make war obsolete. Hmm. Technology would automatically make life fairer. Democracies would self correct. Economic growth would lift everyone. Those beliefs didn't collapse overnight, they faded slowly, quietly, and unevenly. As we enter this new year, one illusion is clearly gone. The idea that stability is the default setting of the world. Instability is no longer an exception. It's the environment. Madam Fay, what does this shift tell us about the phase of history we're about to dive into?
Well, I think it tells us that we're stepping into a phase where flexibility and awareness become more crucial than ever. If the old illusion was that stability was the norm, then this new reality means we're going to have to get comfortable with navigating a world that's constantly in flux. It's not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario, but it does mean that we have to be more proactive, more adaptable, and really a bit more thoughtful about the long game. So, in short, we're in a chapter of history that's going to test how well we can ride the waves of change.
Yeah, a year of structural stress. This is the way I can best describe this. What we're seeing is not a series of isolated crises, it's structural stress. Governments are facing pressure from all sides. High debt, rise cost of living, rising in cost of living, sorry, aging populations in some regions, exploding youth populations in others. technological disruption, geopolitical competition overall. These pressures don't explode at once, they accumulate. 2026 is shaping up to be a year where many systems reach their stress limit economically, politically, and socially. That doesn't mean collapse everywhere, but it does mean hard choices, fewer easy escapes. What is coming? Madam Fay, how do you see this?
Absolutely. I think you've summed it up really well. We're basically looking at a year where a lot of underlying strains that have been building up are going to come to the surface. And it doesn't mean that everything falls apart, but it does mean that leaders, communities, and everyday people are going to have to make some tough decisions. We're going to have fewer easy ways out and more moments where we really have to think about what we value and how we adapt. So I'd say it's a year of reckoning in some ways, but also a year of opportunity to build resilience.
Okay. And before I go on, do subscribe. We need the support. And like I said, there's a free link to the streaming platform we use. Feel free to use it, it's free. Power is being redefined. One of the most important changes happening right now is how power itself is defined. Power used to power used to mean territory, armies, industrial output. Today, power means data, technology, supply chains, narrative control. Who controls the narratives? Institutional trust. Countries that understand this are repositioning quietly. Countries that don't react loudly and and reactions rarely build long-term strength. This is why so much of what feels like chaos is actually a reordering of the way forward as we know it. Have you say, Madam Faye, what do you see from this? How do you put it together, and from your perspective, what do you think?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head. It really is about recognizing that the definition of power is shifting beneath our feet. And those who are aware of that shift are positioning themselves quietly and strategically, while those who aren't might be reacting more out of uncertainty. So, from my perspective, it's a reminder that the real game is often happening behind the scenes. It's less about the noise and more about understanding these deeper currents. So, it's definitely an interesting time to be having these conversations and to be helping people see beyond the immediate headlines.
Yeah. So, the role of technology and AI. Technology, especially AI, as we know, will not define this year by itself, but it will amplify existing strengths and weaknesses. AI will reward countries with infrastructure, expose those without policy frameworks, increase productivity in some sectors, displace workers in others. This will widen gaps, not just between people, but between nations. The key question for 2026 isn't who has AI, it's who knows how to govern AI. What's your take, Madam Faye?
I think that's spot on. It's really not just about who has the technology, but who can thoughtfully integrate it into their society. The countries and communities that figure out how to create solid policies, how to protect workers, and how to use AI to enhance rather than divide will be the ones that come out ahead. So it's really about the wisdom behind the technology rather than the technology itself. And 2026 might really highlight who's prepared for that and who's not.
Democracy, trust, and fatigue. Another defining theme of this year will be democratic fatigue. Across the world, people are not rejecting democracy because they hate freedom. They're exhausted because institutions feel slow, distant, and unresponsive. When trust weakens, polarization grows, extremes gain attention. We see it in every country. We see it in the outcomes of all the voting that we've been doing for, I'll say, at least the last 5 years to 10 years. Patience is disappearing. This doesn't mean democracy is ending, but it does mean it's being tested under pressure, not protected by habit. What you say on this, madam?
Absolutely. I think what you're highlighting is that this year is really about the resilience of democracy. It's not that people are turning away from the idea of freedom or democracy itself, but they're really feeling the strain of systems that aren't keeping up with their expectations. And when that trust wavers, it opens the door for more polarization and for more extreme voices to step in. So it's a year where democracies have to prove themselves by being more responsive, more adaptable, and more connected to the real needs of their citizens. And that's a test that can lead to renewal. Isn't that well?
Yeah. And Africa and the weight of the moment for Africa, and especially countries like Nigeria, this year matters deeply. Africa is not entering the future quietly, it's entering, it's young, connected, and impatient. This can become a democratic advantage in a way, an innovation engine in another way, or political awakening, or it can become instability if opportunity does not match expectations. 2026 will test whether African leadership can move from potential to execution. What this year will really demand, if we strip away the headlines, this year demands three things from societies: clarity, understanding what truly matters to people they govern; discipline, resisting distraction and reaction; long term thinking beyond election circles and trends. Nations that master this will navigate this year with strength. Those that don't will drift, and drifting is dangerous in times of change. What do you think, Madam Fay?
I think you've summed that up really insightfully. It's absolutely a moment where clarity, discipline, and long term vision are going to make all the difference. For Africa and for Nigeria in particular, that means not just having a youthful, connected population, but really harnessing that energy with a clear sense of direction and purpose.
Yeah.
Those who can keep their eye on what really matters and think beyond the immediate noise will be the ones that find strength and stability. And you're absolutely right. Drifting without that direction can be risky in times of change. So it's all about navigating with intention.
So, as we bring this to a close, I'll say do support the channel, subscribe, it's free. And again, there's a free link to the streaming platform we use. Feel free to use it. It's a gift from us to you. A new year doesn't bring a new world. It reveals the direction the world is already moving in. 2026 will not be about optimism or pessimism. It will be about awareness because history doesn't reward those who hope the most. It rewards those who understand the moment they're in. This is mindset, the global frame. And as we step into the new year, remember the future isn't waiting to happen, it's already unfolding. Happy New Year, Madam Fay. Say your last words.
Absolutely. And Happy New Year to everyone tuning in. Just like Femi said, it's all about stepping into this year with our eyes open and our minds clear. The world is already in motion, and the best we can do is understand the path it's taking and be thoughtful about how we navigate it. Thanks for joining us on Mindset the Global Frame, and we can't wait to keep exploring these big questions with you throughout the year.